What's going on, everybody? Today we are going to be working on something that I've had in process for about a year now. That is this miraculous parking spot. So about a year ago, almost exactly a year ago, I pulled out the shrubs that were lining this driveway because the previous owners had cut them at a bad time and had essentially killed them off. So they looked really bad. They were taking up space. They were not shading the ground to the point where weeds and whatnot were still growing really heavily under them, and it just did not look good. And we have just enough parking here for me and my wife, but if we have anybody come over, it's a little tight to add more people. So I was wanting to have some extra parking. So what I did was I extended from where the original driveway was, and I built this wall all the way around. Now, these are old railroad ties that we had from the old farm. Not the old abandoned farm, but the old farm that I grew up on. We had these because we were using them as a road for the bobcat when we were clearing out a pond. All of these hand laid starting in July, I believe it was. And the bottom layer is held in with 3-foot pieces of rebar into the ground. And then each one of these, rooster crowing at me. And then each one of these has a foot-long spike going into the next one. And that gets it about halfway through your next beam. So these are rock solid. In addition, you can't see them all because a lot of them are covered. You'll see these posts coming out, and those are going to come out into the rocks, and the weight of the rocks will help keep the wall sturdy. And I'm using the tarps over something like a garden matting because these are much thicker. You know, I don't need the benefits of the garden matting. I just needed to keep weeds from growing through my rocks. So that's why we chose this. It's much less expensive. As you will see here, we have started to fill it in. We're hopefully going to get more today, and that'll mean that we can finish the rest of this. So we're just going to go ahead, look at where we got this kind of put in, and we will move on to getting all of this in. Oh, and I forgot to mention this guy. So I do have a drain coming out here because that comes from my gutters. So that comes down under here and through. And we've got railroad ties and chunks of railroad ties on each side of this in order to keep it from getting crushed by the rocks and from people driving over top of it. So hopefully that will keep this still draining. If it does get crushed, the one that starts right down there is perforated, so hopefully that will at least drain. We'll see if it becomes a real problem. I'm really not sure what I'll do, but I'll figure out something. And with that, let's get to laying some rock. So it's actually the next day after me and my dad finished up the parking spot here. We got another load of, or we got a final load of the dust and chips, graded it all out and everything, and it is looking really nice. One of the things you guys probably saw me do a lot while we were doing all of that work is, we were walking up and down all of this, and it looks like we're picking stuff out of it. All of that is all of these bits of wire that were still in the concrete, because this is recycled concrete. We did number 2s as the base, and then we did number 4s as the topping. And since this is recycled concrete, just found a screw in here. Since this is recycled concrete, it's going to have some junk in it. It's going to have some of the wires that they use to reinforce everything. And I'm just going to have to walk through and kind of pay attention. I probably need to get a big magnet and pull all these out so that we don't get flat tires, because that is a big concern with this. That's just kind of the price you pay for using recycled materials, but means that, this is not going to waste and everything, which is really nice. So I think that's going to do it for this video. Thank you all for watching. If you've got any questions about the process that I went through with this, put them down in the comment section and I will do my best to answer them. This was a really good project to do. I've really enjoyed it. It has been a very long process, but I'm glad I got it done. We can finally move on to some bigger projects around the house, because this has kind of been one of the things that's been holding me back from redoing the back deck and everything. So once again, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Best way to support the channel is to subscribe, send this to a friend, and stay tuned for some future content. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.